Steve Harvey is certainly having the worst start of a year in his long career, thanks to Cat Williams' explosive interview. And now, Shannon Sharpe got newer receipts about the terrible side of Harvey straight from the mouth of Gary Owen. In his revealing Club Shay Shay interview, Gary Owen revealed more about his time working on the Steve Harvey Show with fellow comedian Steve Harvey. The talk show aired from 2012 until 2017, and Owen worked as the announcer for about 2 weeks. The ride-along actor detailed his experience on the show and even mentioned Harvey's stepdaughter, model Lori Harvey, during his chat with Shannon Sharpe. When asked if he had a good relationship with Harvey, the Think Like a Man star told Sharpe he's always been cool with the comedian. "That's the headlines talking," said Owen. "I've always been cool with Steve. What happened with that whole situation was when he moved his talk show from Chicago to LA, and I went on a show as a guest. He pulled me aside and was like, he's telling me like, I'm about to move this show to LA. We're going to make it a nighttime feel, but a daytime talk show. But I want to bring you on as like a co-host." Owen added that after a few months, a producer called him to discuss the gig. "I don't think he knew who I was," said Owen. "I think he was looking at like, this is a favor. Like, I don't have anything going on in my life, right? I could tell by the tone of conversation." The 49-year-old added he did not sign a contract but agreed to do the show for 2 weeks to see how things went. On his first day, he was put in a beautiful dressing room, but it was later given to a guest on the show, comedian Chelsea Handler. It was allegedly her old dressing room, and Owen added that a staffer brought him to another dressing room. "So I thought, that's fine, just this episode. I'm walking around, but dude put me in like a broken down closet with no mirror, no bathroom," Owen revealed. "They basically said, this where you going to be for the rest of the week. And I was like, oh." Owen shared that when he asked for a better dressing room, black women came to the rescue, noting that it was a white man who had been helping him previously. One of them black women stepped up. "She knew who I was," said Owen, adding that the woman had given him a small dressing room with a small television set, couch, and bathroom, and he was good. Owen ultimately left the show due to only making SAG minimum and losing money by not being on the road doing stand-up. He'd made 3 times as much during a gig for Hip Hop Square. The actor said he turned the gig down after he was offered another 2 weeks and wasn't offered the money he wanted. "I would say it's on Lori," he joked. "It was her fault. You're not going to defend her? You're not going to defend her? You're not going to defend Lori Harvey? Another black woman you don't defend," said Owen, a reference to Sharpe being criticized for dating white women. This is not the first time Harvey is being accused of mistreating those he works with. Fans have pulled clips of Mark Curry previously accusing Harvey of stealing his Halloween joke after Cat Williams claimed his Kings of Comedy co-star Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke for their special. Gary Owen first came forth to share his experience about previously working with Harvey on his talk show on his Get Some with Gary Owen podcast. "I just did Hip Hop Squares," the show DeRay Davis used to host, "and I filmed 3 episodes in 1 day on Hip Hop Squares and made 4 times the money I made doing 2 weeks of the Steve Harvey Show," he said. "It was only 2 people on the show every week. It was me and Steve," Owen further explained, noting that he acted as the voice announcer on the show. "I just pretty much said, give it up for Steve Harvey, and I announced the guests and go back to my dressing room." And bringing him on as a sidekick of the show and a spin-off with the 2 comics. But Owen developed a bad feeling early on after a lunch meeting with one of the talk show's producers, who shot down all of his comedy pitches. "He's shooting everything down. He goes, no, we'll handle that. We'll handle the sketches." But as an artist, he wanted creative control of how he made people laugh. "You ain't gonna tell me that whatever you're coming up with is funnier than what I'm coming up with," said Owen. The 49-year-old said he was not involved in any of the show sketches during those 2 weeks, noting that he was paid minimum wage. Owen claims he realized that he couldn't survive on that small living wage, especially when he didn't know if they were going to hire me or not. He added, "I can't take a month off, basically." 2017 was the first time the world really heard about the dark side of Steve Harvey. That year, the veteran comedian addressed his shocking staff memo that was leaked in May. The memo, in which the then 60-year-old television personality wrote, "Do not come to my dressing room unless invited. Do not approach me while I'm in the makeup chair unless I ask to speak with you directly. Do not take offense to the new way of doing business. It is for the good of my personal life and enjoyment," was leaked by a staff member from Harvey's Chicago-based talk show. A few days later, Harvey met with reporters at the Television Critics Association press tour in Beverly Hills, California, and discussed the memo right off the bat, beginning with a joke about the incident in true Harvey fashion. "I learned 2 things from that email. I can't write, and I should never write," Harvey said, according to Variety. "It was something I wrote a year ago, and someone didn't get a job coming to LA, and they got His lightheartedness continued. "I thought it was cute. You all didn't." Moving towards a serious note, the Steve host explained that he didn't recognize the severity of the situation until it made national headlines. "I was okay until I saw it on CNN, and that's when I knew I was in a lot of trouble," he said. "The email was out there, and it wasn't a big deal to me at all. I'm not a mean-spirited guy. I'm a very congenial guy to people who know me." According to Steve executive producer Shane Farley, only roughly 10 out of 60 staff members from Chicago were making the move to LA for the show. This wasn't the first time, however, that Harvey spoke out about the leaked note. Near the time of its release in May, Harvey argued that the staff members were ambushing him, which gave him a reason to handle it in this particular way. "I could not find a way to walk from the stage to my dressing room, to sit in my makeup chair, to walk from my dressing room to the stage, or to just sit and have lunch without somebody just walking in," he said. "I've always had a policy where, you can come and talk to me. So many people are great around here, but some of them just started taking advantage of it." He added, "Look, man, I'm in my makeup chair and they walk into the room. I'm having lunch and they walk in. They don't knock. I'm in the hallway, and I'm getting ambushed by people with friends who come to the show and have me sign this and do this. I just said, wait a minute. And in hindsight, I probably should have handled it a little bit differently." Sending a threatening memo aside, Harvey was also once accused of fraud by his former employee. The disgruntled ex-worker claimed Harvey ripped him off in a bad deal by not paying him thousands of dollars he raised for Harvey's charity. The comedian's agent at the time, Todd Frank, denied the allegations, saying that it sounds fake. Ex-employee Vincent Dimmock, who pressed charges of charity fraud, claimed that Harvey hired him in April 2017 to help raise $20 million for the Steve and Marjorie Foundation, as well as other ventures, according to TMZ. In return for raising the funds, Dimmock was said to receive 12.5% of everything he brought into the foundation. In the lawsuit, Dimmock said he delivered $1 million to the foundation through his great connections. However, Harvey apparently refused to pay Dimmock after finishing the job and seemed to have no intention of paying him at all. Dimmock also claims that while working with Harvey, he gained insight into what the TV host really thought about his fellow entertainers. He revealed that during an investor meeting with Harvey in May of that same year, Harvey blamed Oprah and Tyler Perry for giving him bad financial advice, and also claimed that Barack Obama was the culprit behind his terrible meeting with Donald Trump. A year before, Harvey was accused of being a The veteran, known as the man with 10 jobs, found himself in hot water after one of his former employees tried to get $5 million out of him for some allegedly racist comments he made on tape. According to Radar Online, the former employee, Dallas native Joseph Cooper, claimed to have videotape footage of the talk show host going off in a racist tirade about white people, allegedly spewing comments like, "spit on white people," and "go assault old white women." Harvey, however, responded to Cooper's claims in a lawsuit of his own. In the documents, he claimed Cooper was trying to extort him by selling old videos of his comedy routines from more than 20 years ago. In court documents, the Family Feud host said, "Mr. Cooper has initiated a campaign to essentially extort me and embarrass me as I start to build my entertainment career." To make matters worse, it was reported that Joseph had been trying to auction off the tapes to Harvey's employers whenever he was hired for a gig to inform them of potentially embarrassing material and/or tapes, and attempt to have them influence Harvey to pay for the tapes. Joseph's gripe with Harvey is clearly personal. In an interview with Radar Online, he called the television personality the worst person that's ever been on television. All the recent drama surrounding Harvey started with fellow comedian Cat Williams. The Atlanta star rekindled his years-long feud with Harvey, accusing the Family Feud host of failing to crack Hollywood and stealing from another comic. Speaking in January's episode of the Club Shay Shay podcast, Cat accused Harvey of copying elements of Mark Curry's sitcom Hangin' with Mr. Cooper while developing the Steve Harvey Show. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had, Cat said. Cooper's sitcom ran for 5 seasons on ABC from 1992 to 1997. Harvey's eponymous sitcom aired between 1996 and 2002 on the now-defunct WB network. Cat added that Harvey wasn't talented enough to become a movie star. "You couldn't be a movie star," the Friday After Next actor said. "There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asked for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good and look like Mr. Potato Head." Cat and Harvey's feud first became public in 2008 when the actor attempted to goad Harvey into a stand-up comedy battle. The pair performed on the same bill on New Year's Eve in Detroit that year, and Cat made multiple personal jokes about Harvey. After his recent podcast interview with the former NFL tight end Shannon Sharpe went viral, fans began resurfacing old clips of Curry accusing Harvey of stealing his comedy material. During an appearance on Fox Soul's The Mike and Donnie Show in 2019, Curry said that the pair fell out after Harvey used his material on Steve, his NBC "Do That, Homeboy. MF, you made enough money. You made enough money. You did enough. Why are you on my material?" On a personal front, Harvey hasn't been at his best behavior as well. The comic married his first wife, Marcia Harvey, in 1980. The two were married as the Family Feud host's comedy career began to blossom, which reportedly caused tension in their marriage. 14 years and 3 children later, the two divorced in 1994. But before their official split, the couple separated in 1990, the year before their third child was born. In addition to unpaid child support for Marcia and their children, it was also reported that Harvey began living with his future wife, Mary Shackelford, before the divorce was settled. He and Mary tied the knot in 1996, welcoming one son, and later divorced in 2005. Since their split, Shackelford has alleged that Harvey stepped out on her with his current wife, Marjorie. Since 2007, Harvey has been married to his third wife, Marjorie Harvey. In August 2023, rumors swirled that Marjorie cheated on Harvey with the family's security guard and chef. The daytime host denied these allegations at a comedy show, telling the audience that his marriage was doing just fine, per Entertainment Weekly. Now, Harvey has 7 children, 4 biological children, and Marjorie's 3 children, whom he adopted, including Lori Harvey. But that's not all. In 2015, USA Today reported that Harvey had been sued by an aircraft company for $205,040 in unpaid alterations. The company, Business Aircraft Leasing Inc., said that Harvey originally wanted to lease out a Gulfstream jet, but requested $400,000 worth of customizations before doing so. These customizations included removing 2 seats and redecorating the plane's interior. When it came time to pay, Harvey fell short by refusing to finish paying off the aircraft after making half of the expected payments. Initially, the company argued that Harvey had verbally promised to lease out the jet for $97,000 a month after the alterations were made. The case was brought against the comedian and One World Aviation, one of the many businesses he owns. A year later, the jet company eventually dropped its case against Harvey, opting to make a business agreement with One World Aviation. Since then, Harvey has shared my photos enjoying the comfort of his private jet. The aircraft has even served as the perfect setting for his and his wife Marjorie Harvey's fashion-forward videos. In one such video, posted by their stylist Ellie Caramo, the couple showed off their coordinated black ensembles while preparing for takeoff. But it seems the never-ending accusations will ruin his legacy if he's not careful. And that's it from us today until next time. Thank you for watching.